Hi, this is M. Kareem Ratcliffe, and this is Sins of the Father, Part 5. I've spent a great deal of time researching, and research has shown that a father's love is just as important, or sometimes more important than a mother's love. We as men are taught not to show emotions. This will ultimately affect how you bond with your child, and this is partly due to not having intimate relationships with our own fathers. Now, men who grew up without fathers are still able to give love, don't get me wrong, and they're able to show affection to the child in question. And we also have the ability and power to influence the directions our child or children take in life. And that is if given the opportunity, which a lot of times we aren't. A child becomes more confident when the fathers are actively involved in their lives. Now, this requires total commitment and time spent with your child. I must tell you though, in order to be good fathers, we must co-parent with the child's mother. In essence, children thrive on affection and attention and look for their father to give it to him or her. They want dad to be available to help them in all phases of their lives. So fathers, give the support that's needed and be role models, good role models, and guide your children through the rough times of their lives and encourage them through the rough times of their lives, as well as in good times and bad. Now, pay attention to your child, share a conversation. Once in a while, throw a baseball and sit and do tea parties or tea time with your daughters. Make sacrifices and help with homework. Now, my daughter Amira lives in Brooklyn, New York, and visits in the summer. Yet, every night she calls me, and we go over our homework together over the phone. No matter what. And sometimes I used to get frustrated, and I'd say, you got two people in the house, your mother and your sister. Why can't one of them help you with your homework? And then I realized it's not that they couldn't help her, it's just that she wanted to spend time with me, and this was her way of doing so long distance. So I sat down and realized this, and I just let it go. She calls me no matter what I'm doing. I drop what I'm doing and help her with that homework. Dads, it's important to interact with your child. Give your child memories to last a lifetime. Love them for who they are, not what they do. Hold your child accountable for their behaviors and bad decisions, and love them no matter what. Now, from experience, I know this can be a big challenge for most, but isn't the love of your child worth it? Always show and tell them you love them, and they in return will always love and be there for you, and that's a fact. Okay, now, as a child, I had a wonderful, loving, nurturing mother who took time and care in the upbringing of her 10 children. Yet, there were incidents which occurred that had nothing to do with my mother directly, that shaped and formulated the person I was to be in years to come. My father worked hard and provided for his wife and children, yet he was a hard, stern man. How he himself interacted with me would be what I remember most in my life. He was a man totally committed to order in the home. Things had to be done a certain way, and that certain way was his way. Everything I tried to do, I tried everything to gain his attention, his affection, and it was never good enough, which for a long time made me feel inadequate. For quite a while, I thought everything I did was never good enough. I was called a mommy's boy, a sissy. But looking back on my youth, these are the things I remember most. And no parent, and I state again, no parent should ever make a child feel this way. Love your children, applaud them for their successes and achievements. As I said before, encourage them daily. Let them know you're involved in all phases of their lives and will be there for them with each situation that arises. Now, as we all know, there's no quote-unquote magic elixir that gives us the gift of excellent parenting. But one thing we should know instinctively, and that is the affairs of adults should not involve or be taken out on our own children. Now, I have myself become a better person because of the situations I overcome as a youth. If you lack love and attention as a child, do what I've done now that I'm a parent. Though I was not loved exactly the way I would have wanted or should have been loved, I just asked myself, how would I have wanted to be treated And I treat my child that way. If I lacked a hug, I would make sure I hug my child every day. If I wanted to hear "I love you" as an adult, I would make sure my child hears these words 10 times a day. You know, pretty much in conclusion, I don't want to give up too much in my book, because if I do, then no one will buy it. As parents and adults, we have to solve our problems without our children being present. They are not involved in our decisions to continue or discontinue the love we shared or no longer share. But they are involved in our lives no matter what decisions we make. They are our responsibility regardless. There's no excuse for not loving and educating your children, because they are a part of you now and forever. They will always be attached. As I've stated, there are varying reasons men cease to become part of their children's lives. But no matter what emotional complications arise, we must remember that these are our children, and we need to take care of their hearts and minds, because they are the ones who are our futures. Now, the bottom line is, we're not perfect as men, we're not perfect as fathers, but there are no perfect mothers either. So, you know, as parents, maternal and parental, we need to understand that we are the caretakers of these children's lives, and no matter what anger, what hostility we hold, we must set all that aside to maintain the upbringing of our children. As I stated before, teach the children in a way you wish them to grow. Peace.